Welcome along, listeners and subscribers, to another edition of Heads Up. Money Shot here with Neil, CEO of Formpro. And Neil, it was a good weekend last weekend on the racing side. Not so much on the sports side though, but we'll start with the positives. The quaddie in Brisbane, $25,000 and well tipped by your good self.
Yeah, a few subscribers were pleased to see Shakonte skip away about 200 metres out and put it beyond doubt. And he probably paid $17 in the end, and the quaddie paid close to 25 grand. And at last count, there were 9 subscribers who got a slice of it, so good on you. And those quaddies are great when you get them, but they're a pain in the arse, aren't they, when you miss out on one leg, like we did on Wednesday, and that roughly came in. But that's quaddies, and I've got a bit of a plan for those quaddies I'll discuss at the end in part 4.
It was good too. Finally we got a winner of our $20 multi competition. Wayne, he collected about just a tick under $300, I think.
Yeah, he was wrapped. He rang me actually and asked me for what was my multi of the day, and I said those two, Horea and that thing in Queensland in the first race, all over Bossa Nova. And he got that. Then because he knew the funds were coming into his account later on, he took that quaddie. So from a quiet day that he was going to have, he ended up being about a $1,500 profit day for him. So that was good to see, and hopefully someone later on in part 4 can answer that question. Anybody can have a go at that, and never know your luck. Okay, what else we had? Should we mention the Lions?
The Lions finally came good with the referee, who seemed to not understand which side had the dominance at scrum time, and blew the whistle many times. But to be fair, the Lions played sensibly enough to win that game. The Crusaders, I think the pressure might have got to them a bit. A few of their players choked a little bit under pressure, but it would be quite ironic, wouldn't it, Neil, if every other Super Rugby side in New Zealand won against the Lions apart from the Crusaders. Then they win Super Rugby. Then there'll be a debate as to who the best team is. So all good fun. So fair cop to the Lions. They proved us wrong. They came out and certainly amended for the poor start they had on their first week on tour, but gets harder again this week with the Maoris on Saturday night and the Chiefs on Tuesday night.
I enjoyed the Highlanders game on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was a good game.
It was good under
I thought it was
the roof.
It makes all the difference, doesn't it? That dry pitch now that we're in the middle of June, where the dew's very apparent on the field, certainly makes things a bit tougher to play that open running rugby, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was great. Rightio, on to part 2 in a sec. Right, listeners, we're into part 2 of the show, and at Ruakaka in race 3, we've got a small field there, Money Shot, 6 horses, 1,400 metres, an open handicap, and Lewis Carroll, number 6, has been opened up at $2.60 when I got the odds yesterday, and into $2.30. It's not your money, is it?
Certainly not my money, Neil, no. Drawn 6 out of 6. How often do you see in a 6-horse field a horse trapped 3 wide?
Yeah.
And that could be the case, because you've got Fully Funded, who definitely likes to lead, and Amarula will probably go up and sit handy. So Lewis Carroll might be made to work a bit from the 1,200 metre start. So I would not be taking that horse at the short odds of $2.30, that's for sure.
Yeah, we concur on that one. No, so what can win?
I thought maybe Amarula likes the course.
Good horse.
Good horse. Had a few injury issues, but I think might be back to his best now. And look at his course record: 6 starts for 4 wins and a placing. So loves the sand at the sandy surface at Ruakaka. So he might just sit outside, Fully Funded. Might let Lewis Carroll go round and just get a bit of cover, and then pop out at the top of the straight and run past them both. There you go.
Yep, no, I agree with that. I had a look at Lewis Carroll in this meeting last year. It ran 3rd as a $3 something favourite, and had every chance and just didn't seem to hit out as well as he has done on other tracks. So $2.30, you can stick him. I haven't gone for Big and Hill, actually. I quite like him. He's been better ridden distant behind. He was unlucky last start in a stronger field. But it's a tricky little race. Amarula is probably the best horse, but got the best horse's weight, hasn't he? 60 kgs. But yeah, tricky race. I wouldn't be having a decent go, but maybe just a little lay on Lewis Carroll. And in race 5, we've got a nice field. There's we've got 7 horses there. Stoked Me's in 2 races. May pull out of this race. Got Absolute Excellencia, Fresh Up, Nailed It, Stradivarius, Stoker's Rock. Anything there?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough race. I thought maybe Nailed It. The country's leading trainers, the Baker Forsman combination.
Yeah.
The better track conditions, that's probably her sort of go. So Nailed It, 290. You'll probably get about that on the day, I would have thought. So maybe just wait till the day, but not a race you could really get too stuck in, I wouldn't have thought.
No. Well, look, it's interesting. The rail's back to true from 4 metres at the last meeting. So it's likely going to favour on-pace runners, which it often does do anyway. And I'm pretty keen on number 6, Stradivarius. I've been watching him carefully. The track was just too heavy for him last start. And I'm pretty confident here Trudy Thornton will just slide forward, get a soft lead, maybe with Nailed It on its outside. And I think he's set to win this race by Stravinsky. Decent track will suit him, obviously. And an uncontested lead, bang, $3.20, I'm on. But I can smell a bit of chocolate coming on, maybe. Huh?
Well,
no?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm happy. Stradivarius, he's won over a mile at Tirapa on that Fierce Leaders Bias on Labour Day last year. But I don't know, he might get found out over a mile. So I'll take you on with Nailed It head-to-head against Stradivarius. After your win last week, I gave you an easy one last week by letting you have New York Minute.
Yeah, I'm just going to loosen the belt a wee bit. Chocolate, but it's fine.
No, good luck.
Okay, head to head. Gee, no, I think Stradivarius is a damn good bet there. The Trentham's are going to be a heavy 11 track. Well, who knows? Could be heavy 15, realistically. But some nice jumps races there. I haven't really had a good look. Anything you're keen on down there at all?
No, we haven't looked at Trentham. We haven't worried about them.
Yeah, and what I'm going to be doing too is because of the quaddies, the Turbo quaddie tomorrow is on 4 races, 3 of which are small fields, and it's 25 grand guaranteed. You might get to say 50 grand. You can never see the pool though, how much is in the pool. Last week I couldn't look at it, and someone said it was terminating on TV. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? I don't think it's terminating, is it?
No,
I don't think it was terminating.
I think some trackside presenters need to go back to betting 101 lessons to learn the difference between guaranteed and terminating and the like. So
it is crucial, isn't it? And if it's terminating and you've got 3 of the legs are hard to get, you might have a decent go, but if it's guaranteed, I'll bypass the damn things. But now the Melbourne quaddie's looking to one tomorrow for subscribers. I've started going through the form in the fields. Looks pretty open, and we'll probably put up a recommended bet for that one. So look out for that tomorrow. Now the reason I posted a bit later is so I can see how the track's playing. If the inside is going off, like Moonee Valley is likely to go off on the inside, as usual with the rail out. But anyway, I'll post that an hour or so before the first leg is run. Nothing much else on. It's a quiet day, isn't it, tomorrow, really? Not a big day. The big day's next week, isn't it?
Well, we'll let the listeners into a little... They wouldn't have even done the form yet for Sunday, Neil. We'll give them one for Sunday.
Okay, sounds good.
Sunday at Caloundra, Sunshine Coast. There's a New Zealand horse sneaking over to the Sunshine Coast.
Bringing it up now.
Just get the race right. I think it's about race 7 from memory. Am I right? Yes, race 7, number 7.
Oh, yeah.
Save the Date. It's a filly that showed quite a bit of promise, ran in the Eulogy Stakes. And so Lance Noble taking it over to the Sunshine Coast for a soft kill. And I think it can be winning that race. And I see Lee Thinnis is heading over for a ride. Obviously trying to escape the colder weather here in New Zealand to get over there. So I think that'll be a winning on Sunday. Race 7, number 7 at the Sunshine Coast. Save the Date.
Yeah, no, she's a good filly, right, isn't she? So, yeah, and $15,000 stake indicates it's not going to be a strong field.
One of your old favourites I see is there as well, Neil, up the top. Your old favourite, Don't Poke the Tiger.
Oh, it's in the race too, yeah.
This horse that was
Yeah.
running in those Gore Guineas and the like. I think one time we were both big on him, and she missed the start.
Yeah.
Don't Poke the Tiger.
Yeah.
From memory, that might have been the...
Yeah, she went a fair race last start at Rickerton on a track that was too heavy for her. So up to 1,400 metres, she'll go forward, but I think Save the Date's probably a better horse. So anyway, we'll find out on Sunday. Now, thanks to that, it's also a leg of the quaddie as well. And I see tomorrow at Ipswich we've got our Tessa stock going round again. Subscribers will have backed her on the Sunday meeting last start. They paid $3 or $4. Glenn Collis on $12. Got to be good each way value in that field. Crikey.
There's a few Kiwis all heading over there. I see another horse that's snuck over. You have to stay up late on Saturday night. Albion Park. I see a horse called Delightful Memphis is running in a race there. Remember, we were big on her in the Jewels. She only ran second, but she'll be winning that race for sure at Albion Park.
Driving tactics didn't help too much, did it?
Not the best drive, in my opinion, but
good.
She's off to the Queensland Oaks, I think, in 2 weeks' time, and I believe her main nemesis, Spanish Armada, won't be going after a little injury scare, so that might make it a bit easier for the Delightful Memphis.
Yeah. Terrific. No. Just an average day's racing tomorrow, but hopefully a few little nice winners there for you, maybe one or two big winners. And so good punting tomorrow, and back with part 3 for our sports preview in a sec. Okay, listeners, back with the sports preview, and the money shot is after last week's not so good performance with the Crusaders letting us down. He's got one for us for tomorrow night at Rotorua. What's it going to be, money shot?
Well, Neil, we mentioned it earlier. Obviously, There's no roof at the International Stadium in Rotorua. Rotorua is about as far inland as you can get in New Zealand, so the dew on the ground there, it'll be a clear night, but there'll be plenty of dew, and we quite like the total combined points option tomorrow, option 2140, selection 1, under 45.5. The Lions, they've scored about 5 tries in 4 games, so they certainly aren't going to set the world on fire. They'll kick a few goals, no doubt. But they are pretty good on defence, so I can't see either team running away with it, and it should be close, and therefore I think the total combined points will remain under that 45.5. So we'll go with that for the bet this weekend.
Sounds good.
On the rugby side, I do like one though, and I know he's likely to choke because he's never won a major before, but in the US Open, gee, that course is pretty intimidating. I don't think you and I would go that well on that course, Neil.
No.
We'd probably go around in about 84. That's 84 lost balls. Ricky Fowler, he's due to win. He's the number 1 on tour in terms of driving stats when you combine accuracy with distance, and that's clearly what you need to be doing on that course with the fescue rough almost up to your knees. He's 7 under. I think this is his time to be winning a major, so he's $4.50. I think Ricky Fowler to go wire to wire in the US Open.
Here's hoping he's a good guy. Like you say, he hasn't won a major yet, but he's the sort of guy I'd like to see win a major. But which actor would make his double in looks?
Yeah, well, I know what you're going to say. Is that guy that played Jack in the Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Spot on, he is, isn't he? It's amazing. Yeah. That's good then.
So there's a couple, but it's a tough weekend. The league, you've got all the good players out with state of origin duty. The All Blacks put a very strong team out tonight, but 37, 38 point start. Often they're a bit rusty in game 1, but you'd think with that team they could run amok. So I thought we'd stick with that Lions Maoris bet with the total combined points, hopefully to get the wagon back on the track, so to speak.
Yeah, and the Warriors won last week, and they're certainly to get 2 points again this week. So it's
your favourite team, the Warriors, Neil. You've jumped off their bandwagon, and now they're starting to win again.
Yeah, well, it's good. They'll stay off their bandwagon. So no, hopefully they do come through and maybe make the top 8. Never know from there, but yeah, I think I know they ain't going to win the NRL. But
not in your lifetime, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Back with part 4 with the multi-question for the week. Hopefully you can win that, and brickbats and bouquets, and a little preview for next week's races. Okay, back with part 4, listeners, and we've got our bats and bouquets, the multi-question, etc. And last week, most of you would have been watching that steeplechase at Trentham and saw the start of the race and saw what happened. Highly likely, was a bit cantankerous, and things happened. What was your take on it, Money Shot?
Well, when he was like that, and you could see he was definitely had a bee in his bonnet.
Yeah.
Could you treat it a bit like the trots, where they have a standing start, where he's kind of moved to the unruly position and out of the way of the others? Whether then he still would have cannoned into Lonely Boy, who knows? I think at the end of the day, the right decision was made around the late scratching of Lonely Boy. But what does need to change, in my opinion, is the judges, the starters. They're people that can have the influence on the result of a race, and they don't come under the jurisdiction of the JCA. They are still employed by the clubs. So I think that needs to change, and therefore then there can be greater measures around assessing their performance, etc. And I think all would agree that that start wasn't handled as well as it could have been by the starter. So it was certainly a chapter of incidents. I felt sorry for the rider of King's Deep. It was Sean Phelan. He did brilliantly to run the horse off at the first of the double.
Great riding, wasn't it?
Came back to bite him on the butt as he got cannoned off just before the jump, the second of the double. But yeah, it was certainly thrills and spills, and I think it made mainstream news and made Australia. But hey, it was just one of those random things. If you backed King's Deep, you can add that to excuse number about 3,428 on how to lose your money when it's not your own fault.
Definitely. Now, I think the idea of putting the horse on the unruly, put it behind the horses out of the way, because over a steeplechase distance, an extra 20 metres isn't going to make a huge difference. Or bring the barriers back when it's possible. Every steeplechase race now is hand start or flag start, isn't it? So I'm sure they'll be looking at it. Even mid-race, I thought there was a possibility they might call that race off, because the way that horse was charging round, and to see him take out one horse, what's to stop him taking out another horse?
That's definitely one of the disadvantages of that figure-8 circuit, isn't it? That the riderless horse can come across in front of the field quite easily, whereas generally where they're going round in a oval, if the horse gets in front, they get well in front, or they get too far behind. But with that figure-8, they can cut corners and catch up and cut across horses. So I guess it is the thrills and spills. It's a great viewing spectacle, but that is one downside of the figure-8 circuit.
Yeah, and I've watched a few figure-8s from the public stand at the top there, and it's great viewing, all right. So I'm sure they'll get it sorted out. Now on to the multi-question of the week.
Oh no, haven't you got it? You've got a back. Your long-standing back. Here we go. We'll get the broken record out again.
Well, punters who were on Keeping Savvy yesterday at Wanganui, and there are quite a few. One guy had a $44,000 multi on it. If he was able to see Hermanito's 2 jump-out wins, which I wasn't aware of because I couldn't find it anywhere in the jump-out results, but apparently it had, according to the trainer. The way it won that race, you would have seen that gallop and do something similar in the jump-outs, and you would have thought, okay, this thing's going to come from the back out to the best part of the track, and Keeping Savvy had drawn the inside, so you would have definitely covered on Hermanito. That information wasn't available to punters before the race, and it's frustrating. It just keeps on happening week after week. Last week there was another one. Every week there seems to be 1 or 2 winners that are coming up from the jump outs that we have no idea raced in a jump out, let alone won the jump out. So I think it's not hard to fix. Just get your iPhones out and video the last 400 metres and put it on your Facebook page. It takes about 20 seconds. It needs to be sorted out, in my opinion. Okay, now the multi-question. Well done, Wayne, last week. He had a really good week. He had got the multi and then invested onto the quaddie. So he made over $1,500 last week.
From a free bet?
From a free bet, yeah.
Wayne, money. You know where we are. We look forward to a shout.
Yeah, maybe next Friday at Tauranga. Meet us there for a shout. Yeah. No, that'll be good. And Friday or Saturday. So this week's question, something a bit different, Money Shot.
Yeah, we'll mix it up a little bit. Good. So this is really for the early birds. So hopefully you're listening to this before 8:30 Friday. So rather than a question, it's a sweepstake as such. So you're allowed to watch the first half of the All Blacks test against Samoa, but the moment the kick-off happens in the second half, which should be about 8:30, is when the close-off happens. And it's as simple as predicting the winning margin for the game. So if you think the All Blacks will win by 26, 32, 48, 7, just pick a team and how much they're going to win by. And the closest or the exact score, if there's only one, will be the winner. And if it's a tie, then there will be the customary draw out of Neil's top hat. So get your entries in either by text or email, and it's only one entry per phone number or email address. So don't try and cover it off with your spouse, your 3 children and your 5 pets as well.
It's been tried before too. So if you email me at formpro@formpro.co.nz or text me on 027 352 6402, remember by 8:30 p.m. tonight with that winning margin, and if you're right and the only person getting it, you got that multi for Saturday.
Just on last week's multi question, Neil, I think I made a little error when I said it was Rough Habit's 3rd Stradbroke. Of course, he only won 2 Stradbrokes, so apologies for not getting that. But of course, it was Jimmy Cassidy was the answer, who rode Rough Habit to win. Gee, you'd feel sorry for the people that backed Clearly Innocent in the futures market. If that race was at Eagle Farm on a wet track,
would have won.
Would have won for sure. There's reason number 3,429 for losing your money when it's not your own fault.
Crappy Eagle Farm track.
Well,
Too crappy.
Interesting, I think some bookmakers did refund all.
Decent of them? Yeah, fair enough.
But I guess it varies with their rules. But he was a certainty beaten, I thought, in that race last week.
Yeah. Now, next week we've got something I'm really looking forward to this next week. The Racing Tauranga Punter of the Year, sponsored by the Good Old Informant, which has got some bigger type now, which is good. I've got it right in front of me here.
Anyone who wants to enter, it'll be a star-studded field. You can have bragging rights over Neil if you can beat him home. We'll publicise that. So it's $540 of betting money required, so that's your $60 on each of the 9 races,
right,
and $25 entry fee. That covers your lunch and afternoon tea, and there's subsidised drinks as well. So go onto the Racing Tauranga website, and it'd be great to have as many Formpro subscribers along to take down the big man.
We've got a special guest coming along too next week. You may mention.
Yeah, we'll have a whatever happened to section, I hope, on next week's podcast. So look out for that.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
You never know who we might be able to dredge up from the whatever happened to file.
Yeah, and hopefully Mitch and Cody, who won it last year, come along. That was great last year. They made the money off Katie Keane, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she'll be back to defend her Kiwi Fruit Cup title. So I think Pecoris, one of your old favourites, will be in that race, and your other new favourite, New York Minute, will be running around in the Tauranga Seeker Classic as well. So you'll have a field day there, Neil. All your favourite horses going around.
Oh, look, BT Junior's my favourite at the moment, so he's one of your favourites. I know that. So.
He might sneak into the field. You never know, but we'll be just going around for fun. We won't measure up against those big boys.
Got to get that price up somehow, don't we? Crikey. Anything else you want to mention before we sign off? Beautiful day here in Tauranga. I hope it stays fine.
Yeah, I can tell.
Next week.
I know it's a week out, but the track at Tauranga is about a slow 7 at the moment. So
good. There
is rain forecast though for early next week, but hopefully it'll be a much better day than what we encountered last year, where it was absolutely terrible, heavy 11. I think the horses were coming in like Brown's cows, but. No, just looking forward to next week's State of Origin, of course, on Wednesday. So we'll get a recommended bet out to the subscribers on Wednesday for that as well.
Good. And next week we'll be doing the show live in colour on my iPhone and putting it up on YouTube. So
I hope you've got the makeup room handy for you and I, Neil.
A lot of makeup for you, for sure. No, looking forward to that, and the fields will be out Wednesday by lunchtime. Looking forward to those, and if you're coming along to the Punters Cup do your homework. I'll be doing my homework really well, and hopefully one of us can win it in the Formpro clan, and we're going to make a lot of money and have a great time watching BT Junior win that Kiwi Fruit Cup. Okay, good punting and good luck.